Beep, 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 beep. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome once again to the court of the EDI Jester. Are you fed up with me yet? I know I am. Oh, God help me. How are we doing, peeps? Right? Buy me a coffee, subscribe and share. That's the most important thing. I want to get my subscribers up. I don't know why I haven't got more subscribers. I've got some shit. Is that possible? I don't know what's going on with you good peeps, but there we are. Subscribe if you can. Buy me a coffee. You know, the usual. It's grey and muggy out there. Starting to feel a lot like autumn. It's autumnal. Love that word. How are you today, Barry? Autumnal, madam. Autumnal. It's a wonderful word. Right, we're going back a bit again. I keep coming across great stuff, or I keep getting sent great stuff by people, you know, mostly by warrior teachers. But this ties in with something that I've been interested in the last week or two, because we've had a significant victory in preventing the criminalisation of conversion therapy. The nutter gays that don't get it won't know why it's a victory, right? So just before I give you a little bit of a flavour of this, for the stupid gays I know out there who still don't get it, and there are lots of them, right? Conversion therapy is trans. Trans is conversion therapy. They go into school, right? You're 5 years old, and they start talking to you about gender identity ideology. That is the second the conversion therapy starts. So if we're going to ban conversion therapy, that's where it should start, right? So if I'm Prime Minister, can be awful with it, Prime Minister. I won't be around half the time. Where is he? He's upstairs playing Skyrim. Right, so if I'm Prime Minister, and I was going to write a law, I was going to get a law written, that's where I'd start. First part of the act would say it is a crime to expose a child to gender identity ideology in a public school. Right? And it is classed as conversion therapy. Right? So everybody in the country starts saying, gender identity, no, that's conversion therapy for gay kids. No. So you go to school and you say to the teacher, what are you doing this year? Oh, gender identity. How old are the kids? 11. No, you're not. Right? So the moment the child, because they're blanket, they'll tell everybody, the moment the child is taught about gender identity, that is a safeguarding red flag, because that is the moment for that gay child in that room, might be 11, whatever it may be, that gay child in that room, that is the moment that gay child begins the process of state gay conversion therapy, state anointed gay conversion therapy, state funded gay conversion therapy. The moment it starts. If a parent introduces a child to gender identity ideology, that is the moment the parent begins the gay conversion therapy of their child. Get it? Right? That's just so that the stupid gays are up to date, because they don't ever watch more than the first few minutes, I imagine. So I always know he's just saying the same sort of thing about trans, those wonderful people that I care so much about as a gay man. Wankers. Right. So I've got this particular thing here from Adam Zivo. It's published in April, on the 10th. But just to give you a little bit of a flavour of the sort of thing that I'm talking about from the beginning there's clear evidence that in many cases, paediatric gender identity services amount to conversion therapy for homosexual children. Young gay children, particularly effeminate boys and masculine girls, are being pressured into falsely identifying as transgender, thereby transing the gay away. Evidence. We've got the evidence, right? In the original Dutch study, 100% boys, 100% gay. In the ones at the Tavistock, 80 to 90% were same-sex attracted. The other 20 or 10% were lying. That's my theory, right? Okay. Evidence of this phenomena overwhelmingly comes from the United Kingdom, where the country's sole publicly funded paediatric gender clinic is being shuttered and replaced. Investigators found that this clinic, colloquially referred to as the Tavistock, provided youth with grossly irresponsible care. Tavistock's homophobic practices were first made public in 2019 when an investigative report published by The Times featured several former clinicians who noted that the paediatric gender care sometimes feels like conversion therapy for gay children. The clinicians claimed that homophobia was commonplace at the clinic, and additionally that parents seemed to support medical transition because they would rather have a child who is straight and trans than a gay child. In response, some trans activists have said that the allegations of homophobia and conversion therapy are untrue, but these activists are wrong. In February, BBC investigative journalist Hannah Barnes released her book Time to Think. Highly recommended, folks. If you've not read Hannah Barnes' book Time to Think, I suggest that you do. It's an eye-opener, which used interviews from almost 60 Tavistock clinicians to investigate the clinic's implosion. The book has been lauded by both conservative and progressive newspaper for its meticulousness and fairness. I don't do fair, by the way, as you might have noticed, right? Burn everything to the ground. Somebody else can do fairness, right? I don't do fairness. I do frontline, right? Charge! I'm just better suited there, I think. I've been forced there, one or the other. Barnes' reporting definitively shows that Tavistock was brimming with homophobia. That's a good word, isn't it? Brimming. With homophobia, clinicians spent almost a decade trying to raise alarms about the issue, but were ignored. The core problem was the clinic's affirmative approach to treating trans-identifying youth. Under an affirmative model of care, if patients say they are transgender, clinicians are expected to simply support that self-diagnosis, and schools are doing the same. In practice, that usually means ignoring other crucial factors, such as mental health and sexual orientation. Trans in the gay way, it's what it is. It's gay conversion therapy, and it's sitting there, right in front of you. In most schools are pushing this. Most schools. I'm going to say that, most schools, because they are, right? They're pretending they're not. Teachers are like, no, we're not. Yeah, you are. You're practicing all this in schools, aren't you? The second they introduce the child to gender identity, that second that they introduce the child to the concept of gender identity and trans, is the moment that the gay conversion therapy begins. And right now it's state-funded. Across the board, state-funded gay conversion therapy. That's what we have. That's what the government should be banning. State-funded gay conversion therapy. These swine. Dr. Natasha Prescott, a Tavistock ex-clinician, told Barnes there is increasing concern that gender-affirming therapy, if applied unthinkingly, is reparative therapy against gay individuals by making them straight. When a group of gay and lesbian clinicians tried to raise concerns, they were rebuffed. Tavistock's leadership told the clinicians that because they were homosexuals, they were too close to the issue and couldn't be neutral. It's your kindred, it's your fellow homosexuals that we're going to put on a path to sterilisation, medicalisation and lifelong terror. But you're too close to say anything about it, all right? These butchers, these homophobic, state-funded butchers. State-funded gay conversion therapy is what we're dealing with, and Sunak needs to wake up and smell the damn coffee. Matt Bristow, a former Tavistock clinician, called the clinic institutionally homophobic. According to him, there was even a dark joke that there'll be no gay kids left. It is impossible to know how many homosexual youth were subjected to de facto conversion therapy in the United Kingdom. Multiple reviews of Tavistock's practices have shown that the clinic failed to gather any data on its patients after shoving them into medical transitions because they didn't want anybody to know. They didn't want anybody to know they were practicing gay conversion therapy. When I was in kindergarten, I had a phase where I played with dresses and acted out being a housewife. I've since comfortably grown up as a gay man. I like my body. But had I been born 20 years later, would I have been told that there was something wrong with it? Would I have been pressured to go on life-altering hormones and have my genitals surgically removed? There's much more to the piece. Go and read it. I've left obviously quite a bit out because, go and read. Person's read it. What at least we can do is go and read it. Links where the doobers as usual. Make no bones about it, right? Because I'm sick to death of people making bones about it. The gender recognition certificate is the key that unlocked state-funded gay conversion therapy, which is being practiced with public money from schools to hospitals to universities to the public sector to the third sector and to the private sector. State-funded gay conversion therapy. That is what this is. And it's time we started to call it what it is. There is no such thing as the LGBTQ community. They are just supporters of state-funded gay conversion therapy. There's no such thing as trans. They are just either victims or supporters of gay conversion therapy, or they're fetishists and paraphiliacs, right? And men who should know better, okay? There is no such thing as gender identity. That is a pseudonym. It is not a pseudonym, a synonym, a sort of a hidden term, a hidden term to mean gay conversion therapy. What we are facing is state-funded gay conversion therapy right across the board. And Sunak needs to act now, because if Labour get in, they'll make it easier. And then more children who will grow up to be gay, fat, bearded swine like me, or chunky, lesbian, butch women, right? Or feminine, gay men, will be sacrificed on the altar of gender because nobody's got the guts to stand up and say, trans in the gay way is a thing. Gender identity ideology is gay conversion therapy by the back door. And it's time we call it what it is. It's like AIDS. Remember AIDS? Big iceberg. We need an educational campaign for the entire country, which exposes gender identity ideology and queer theory for exactly what it is, which is the gay conversion therapy by the back door that's been brought in by the homophobes that support it. And so many of those homophobes are gay. That's the irony of it. If I was to walk out now and go and have a wander in the village, I come across dozens. They're looking at me with disdain. Yeah, I'm not the one, mates, right? I'm not the ones that's converting gay kids. You sick, ignorant fools who can't even be bothered to look past your own bumpies because you're so ideologically captured. But I'm a good person. You're not. You're supporting the mutilation of gay children. You are supporting the conversion of gay children. You are supporting the state-funded gay conversion of gay children. Conversion therapy of gay children. That's what you're doing, right? To all of my friends out there who no longer speak to me or think I'm beyond the pale, you are supporting gay conversion therapy. Wake up and smell the coffee. To the bars raising money for the LGBTQ, you're supporting gay conversion therapy. To the charities supporting LGBTQ or gender nonsense and trans nonsense, you are supporting gay conversion therapy. Wake up and smell the coffee. Sick of it now? Okay? You're not on the right side of history. You are supporting a flesh-sacrificing cult. And that flesh is the flesh of young gays and lesbians. And you should look carefully to make sure you're not being supportive by, for example, buying a Pride pledge band or sticking 10 pence in that charity bucket that's being shaken by the blue-haired, nose-ringed, be-pronounced twat in front of you. Right? Wake up and smell the coffee. You are supporting gay conversion therapy. It is not complicated. You just think it is. Go well, good people. Let's keep fighting. Onwards.